Good morning, good morning, TMB. Morning, good morning, Facebook. Good morning, and welcome to Truth Broadcasting. My name is Albania Osharal, and welcome to Truth Matters Broadcasting, where we discern the truth about religion, the kingdom of evil, and the church. I'm inspired this morning to get up and preach a message that I believe will encourage us to continue this fight, this struggle into a true understanding of which God we serve. This is so important because when you really stop and take a close look at it, you'll realize that we don't all serve the same God. And in our religion have an open door to the service of the God by which our religion depict is the God who created the heavens and the earth. In every type of religion, there is a deity. There is a deity to back up every religion, ladies and gentlemen. And you have to, through that religion, know which God you're worshiping. We know that there's many false gods out there in the world, many false gods in the universe, and many things that is worshiped as God. And if you're not even careful, you will be your own God, right? So we have to understand and we have to know which God we worship. Now, as for me, I worship the creator of the heavens and the earth. If you look at all the religions today, they will have that claim, the claim of the worship of the one who created all things. All right. In some religion and some culture, people worship more than one God. And in that culture, it's okay. It is okay to have more than one God. I think for us, we must have the understanding, if the God of Abraham is whom we worship, then we must know him, because eternal life is rest upon we knowing him and knowing his words. The true worshiper must worship in spirit and in truth. Spirit is worshiping God his way. Truth is worshiping him by his words. And so we must come to that understanding. We must come to an understanding of that for ourselves, so that we can stand up for ourselves and say, I know this God. You know, one of the things that we've heard from Yahushua, aka Jesus, one of the things that we heard from him, he says, many on that day will say, have I not done this and have I not done that? And do all these wonderful miracles and things in your name. And he said, I will tell them plainly, I never knew you. So if that is true, ladies and gentlemen, if that is true, he said he will tell them plainly, I never knew you. I don't know if I would like Yahushua to return to not know me, to not recognize me. I want to be known and I want to be recognized for my faith in him. So I have learned over the years to not depend on any person. any religion, any source of information outside of his spirit power in me. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not playing around, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not playing around. If you're just joining me, my name is Meka Albania Osharal. And I'm here to say, for those who are willing to stand up and say, all right, let me just hear this guy out. You will hear some things that will make your belly go. You will hear me say some things that is against your common belief system. I am not like your regular preacher, pastor. I'm not your Creflo Dollars. I'm not your TD Jakes. I'm not your Joel Osteen. I'm not your miracle worker or your entertainment. I'm just a regular guy just like you, who is seeking truth and trusting that if I call upon his name, then he will hear me and he will guide me into all his truth. And today, the title of my message is The Power of the Name. The power of the name. The name I come to resonate with and believe in is Yahweh. The power of the name. The great I am, the great God of heaven, the creator of the universe, has a name. And I want to introduce you to that name. A little bit too much here. I want to introduce you to that name. All right. When I came upon the name Yahweh, I was in deep prayer to the one true God. I wanted to know him for myself. I did not want to know him by anyone experience, anyone telling me this is who he is. I reached out to him because he said, seek me and you will find me. Knock and the doors shall be open unto you. Ask and it shall be given. So when you go before him and you ask, man, he's going to open some doors for you. He's going to open some doors for you. So I'm asking you today to put the name of Yahweh to the test. I have done it. I've put it to the test. And great is my reward. And great is my faithfulness towards knowing him and calling his name. When I read the scriptures and I read from Exodus, from Genesis to Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and you go to Deuteronomy, the TURE, you see the inner workings of this God. And the TURE is the lifeline to understanding, to information that is given for your understanding of the truth in Yahweh Show. You see how Yahweh operates, the things you've said, how you've used his words to manifest things before they were seen, before they happen. He knows the end from the beginning. And when you're dealing with a deity that can tell you what is going to happen before it happened, and it happened exactly the way he said it's going to happen, when you see that happen, you can trust that deity. You can trust that he knows the future because he's the author of it. You know that past, present, and future is right before him all the time. It's an assurance to me that when I walk in his righteousness and feel good about myself, or look at me, I'm so righteous now. And when I fall, when I fail, when I fall short of his glory, for me now, it's not so remorseful like it was before. Back in the days, I used to just beat up on myself. Because what I've learned is that he has seen this before I recognized that I was going to fail. He had seen it. He saw my downfall and he already made provisions for it. And because time waits upon him, and because I'm in time, I have to wait to see what he will. I got to wait for that time to happen. And for me, it's a surprise. It's a surprise for me. It's a reality for me. But for him, it's always been. To know that he has seen that, to know that he has seen my downfall. He has seen that the fact that I'm going to sin against him, I'm going to do some crazy thing, and he already made provisions for me to move on. Then it's for me now to grasp that and to understand that the Father had seen that before, and I hold on to that and pray and thank him for making the provision for me to move on. That I can trust his leadership for me, that I can trust him guiding me into his truth if I put all my trust in him. And so the Bible tells us in advance to trust in the Most High with all our hearts and lean not on our own understanding. In all our ways, acknowledge him and he will direct our path. All right, with that said, the power of his name. So I'm reading in Judges chapter 2, and I just want to read a little bit here on the thorn in your side, the thorn in your side, the thorn in our side. And it came through idol worship. Watch this now. And the angel of Yahweh came up from Gilgad in Boshem and said, I have made you to go up out of Egypt and have brought you unto the land which I swore unto your fathers, that I said I will never break my covenant with you, and you shall make no league with the inhabitants of this land. You shall throw down their altars, but you have not my voice. Why have you done this? Wherefore I also said, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be a thorn in your side, and their gods shall be a snare unto you. And it came to pass, when the angel of Yahweh spake these words unto all the children of Yahosharal, that the people lift up their voice and wept. So they realized, ladies and gentlemen, that they're in trouble. They're in trouble because they did not obey the voice of Yahweh. They're in trouble because they were given instruction. They were given Torah. Torah means instructions. And they followed those. They did not follow those instructions. They were told by Yahweh not to make a league with the nations around them. They were told by Yahweh not to go into the towns and cities and countries which they were to possess. They were told not to take their wives as to unto themselves. They were not to take themselves wives from these countries, not to let their sons marry into these heathen nations. They were to be totally separate. They were to go in and take possession of the land. But because they did not do that, they intertwine and intermingle. Out of that comes all types of worship of different gods. And the gods became a snare unto Yahosharal, even to this day. Verse 4, and it came to pass, when the angel of Yahweh spake these words unto all the children of Yahosharal, that the people lift up their voice and wept. And they called the name of the place Boshem, and they sacrificed there unto the Yahweh. And when Joshua had let the people go, the children, this word Joshua means Yahoshua. That's what his name really meant. All right. When Yahoshua had let the people go, the children of Yahoshua went every man unto his inheritance to possess the land. And the people served the Most High all the days of Joshua and all the days of the elders that outlived Joshua, who had seen all the great works of Yahweh that he had did for Yahoshua. And Yahoshai, the son of Nun, the servant of Yahweh, died, being 110 years old. And they buried him in the borders of the inheritance in Timnasher, in the mount of Ephraim, on the north side of the hill of Gosh. And also all that generation were gathered unto their fathers. Now, this gathering unto their father means that they died. So all the generation was gathered unto their fathers. You understand what I'm saying? So Joshua, the son of Nun, Yahoshai, and all the elders who have seen, they see with their own eyes. They were eyewitnesses of what Yahweh have done to Egypt, what Yahweh have done to the nations around them. They were eyewitness. The people remained faithful as long as someone was there to tell them what Yahweh has done, to speak the very word of Yahweh to them. But when that generation died, listen to this, verse 10, Judges 2, verse 10. And also all the generations were gathered unto their fathers, and there arose another generation from after them, which knew not Yahweh, nor yet the works which he had done for Yahoshua. And the children of Yahoshua did evil in the sight of Yahweh and serve Balaam. So you as the father, you as the mother, rear your children to serve the one true God. But they know not the one true God. They only know the story from which you are telling them. I face that right now in my life. You see, when I was growing up, I grew up with my mom and my grandmother, who were hard workers. They owned a restaurant and they work hard. I used to say the restaurant owned them because they were kind of a slave to it. But they did that so that they can produce in us what they never had. So we had the best of them. They gave the best for us. We were able to live in a nice house and nice clothes. We had much food. What we had because our parents made sure so we had what we needed. As we grew up, we did not grow up with that same work mentality. We saw it, we understood it, but we did not have that work mentality. You understand me? It's in us because we watched it for years. We wanted to do our own thing. But our lives were much more different from our peers' lives because we were at the age now where, you know, the movie. I was listening to Marion Golden. Marion Golden is a minister, but he's also a financial. I think he's a financial advisor. He teaches, you know, ergonomics. He teaches wealth building, and so I've been listening to him, and he was touched on that came before us. And he says from the time of Adam to 1750, we were in an economic structure of agriculture. And so if when you plant the field, ladies and gentlemen, whoever had the land and plant the field were the wealthiest people on the planet. From the time of 1750 to 1900, it was the machine industry, the machine age, the industrial age, he said. And those who invented the machines to do the agricultural work had the wealth. They controlled the wealth because they could manufacture, they could plow the grounds at a faster rate. We would take 3,000 people to build or work the fields. Now you got a machine, you take two machines, the machine work the field. The machine age, the industrial age. He then said the concept of retirement was born, and management and labor union. This is from the 1750s to the 1900s. He talks also about permission, how you have to get permission. You go through these entities in order to get work, where people used to just hire themselves out for work. But those who were going through the management and those who were going to the labor unions, they were making the monies. Then he says from the 1900s to 1950s to 1978, it was the age of distribution. And one thing I've learned from him there, ladies and gentlemen, he says the industry or the time frame prepared for the next time frame. So in other words, what he's saying is that the agricultural age from 0 to 1750 prepared for the industrial age, and the industrial age from 1950 to 1978 prepared for the distribution age. So the age before that prepare for the age that's coming. And that's what happened in the scriptures. When Joshua was alive, he prepared for the age that was coming. And the elders who outlived him, they had that same understanding. They tried to pass that over. So the children of Yahusha didn't take the lessons that they learned from those who died. It's as if they couldn't wait till they died so they could do their own thing. As children, we have the same mindset, ladies and gentlemen. As children, we do not learn from our parents. We couldn't wait to turn 18. Why? Because when you become 18, you become a man or a woman according to the law. And when you become a man or a woman according to the law, you want to go out of your mother's house. You want to go out of your father's house. Why? Because you don't want to remain under their rules. Understand this, ladies and gentlemen. So you go out and do your own thing. You be your own boss. Call your own shots. Why? Why, ladies and gentlemen? Because you want to be the man. You don't want to obey nobody's rules. You don't want to follow nobody. You want to try your own path. And that path, ladies and gentlemen, can become your destruction. You know, the Bible says, Yahweh said, for this reason shall a man leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. You should never leave your parents' house unless you are married. I could close this message now. But the world teaches us, nah, man, by 18 years old, you should go tread your own ground. You at 18 does not have the experience to go live on your own. Now, listen to me. Take it from me. I'm 50. I'll be 51 very soon. And I'm telling you, when I was 18, I didn't know what I was doing. I got a girl pregnant at 17. I had my first child at 17. I lived in my mother's house. All right. So I know a thing or two about trying to go out there and make it on your own. I left my mother's house at 19 years old. Been on my own, doing my own thing at 19. I have some experience here to pass on to the next generation. So the industrial age make way for the distribution age. And that's where you have the outlet, the franchise, the discount store. These were the wealth builders, the MLM. These were the wealth builders. The moral to his story, the epitome of his lesson here is that it's easy to be wealthy in this age. We are in the easiest age now to become wealthy. If we understand the industry that we're in. If you're trying to go back into the agricultural age, it's past. Can you make money there? Yes. If you're trying to go back to the industrial age, it is past. Can you make some money there? Yes. Right? If you're trying to go back into the distribution age, it's past, but you can make some money there. But you got to understand the age by which you are, because the people within the age that they're in have the ability to make the difference in the age that they're in. And this age right now will prepare for the next one to come. He then says from 1978 to 1994 was what he called the technological age. The Microsoft, the Steve Jobs, the programming, the software. You know, people were going to college to become software programmers. And whoever controlled the techie and the program and the software were the ones that making all the money. And if you had gotten in back then, you'd be a multimillionaire today. From 1994 to 2003, right, was the information age, the age of information. I still believe we have access to all of these things today, and you can make it work for you. Because one thing I've learned, and I've learned this from Jim Rohn, and I should write this down just to remind me again. Jim Rohn, you don't have to bat 1,000. You don't have to bat 1,000. You don't have to bat 1,000. Now, what does that mean? In baseball, if you hit 3 out of every 10 balls thrown at you, if you hit 3 out of every 10 balls thrown at you and you make that run, in baseball, they'll pay you about $4 million. That means you're batting 300. They pay you about $4 million. And that's if you hit 3 out of 10. That means you've missed 7 times. Think about that for a minute. To have that understanding, ladies and gentlemen, to have that understanding, to have that knowledge, you don't have to bat 1,000. You can have $10 coming from here, $10 coming from there, $10 coming from there, and $10 coming from there. And if you add that up over time, it's going to make you a nice living at the end of the month. Now, what if that $10 was, what if you started a business and you only getting from that business $1,000 a week? Cash flow, that's $4,000 a month. Can you live off $4,000 a month after paying all the expenses? What if you start a business or you make an investment and you're getting $1,000 a month, just $1,000 a month, 1,000, along with what you're doing now? Let's say you're working at a job, you start something, you do a little side hustle, and you're carrying $1,000 a month. Would that make a difference in your life? Now, what if you were to just save that $1,000 a month for a whole year? You'd have $12,000 for the end of the year. What if you save that for 2 years? You get where I'm coming from? You don't have to bat 1,000. You just got to just understand the dynamics of how things work. Now, what if you take that $12,000 for the first year and you invest half of that $12,000 into a index mutual, a whole life insurance, IUI, I believe it's called, a universal insurance. What if you do that at 6%, 7%, where you become your own bank? Now you're saving money, you're insuring yourself, you're insuring your spouse. If any one of you passed away, instant wealth. You built instant wealth for your family by simply investing $200 a month. Think about these things. These are things that you have to think about. You can make it so easy to pass wealth down to the next generation. Insurance is one of the biggest wealth builders today, alongside land and real estate, real property. So when you think about these things that transcend time and transcend what do you call that? Recession. These things are recession proof, man. Think about these things. So I'm giving you gem here, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I'm telling you, put the power of the name of Yahweh. This name transcends time, but it was hidden from us, and you need to understand why it is. And so I'm asking you to put the name of Yahweh to the test in your life. Do it for you and see what happened. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, taste and see that the Most High is good. What does that mean, to taste? Put it to the test. Put it to the test. Because how will you know to be a witness unto others if you don't have the truth for yourself? So from 1994 to 2003 was the age of information. Whoever controls the information or the flow of information controls the wealth, had the wealth at the time. From 2003 to 2008 was the tech information entertainment age. All right? That's why the music and the entertainment, information. I also learned some more things from Myron Golden, where he talks about implementation, which is your everyday 9-to-5 job, right? So you're being paid to implement something. So you're trading your time for money, right? You're trading your skills for money. So you're an implementer. Someone is using you to implement their dreams and vision. And you're at the lowest pay scale because you're an implementer. So you went to school, you get an education so that you can implement somebody else's wealth builder. And they pay you just enough to keep you satisfied. Just to keep you satisfied so you can gain enough energy to come back the next day and do it all over again. And some of us will do it for 40 years, 30 years, 35 years. Can't tell you how many people I talked to who said, man, I got 15 more years left. How old are you? I'm 60 years old. How old are you? I'm 55. I'm 51. You got 15 more years left to work. Think about that for me. It's a sad reality, man, that we depend on retirement, which will not be there in the end, because they are predicting that by the next couple of years, Social Security is going to run dry, right? And if your retirement is based upon the stock market, your 401k, which is taxed 50% anyway. So if you have $1 million into your 401k, half of that belongs to the government. You know what I mean? And it depends on the stock market. So if the stock market goes down, you're going to lose all that money. So I suggest if people have money in 401k, man, take that money out and put it to use. Put it to some real use. Put it in whole life index insurance with cash value build up. You're going to make more money in the long run than you would do in a 401k, even if it's matched by your employee. You understand what I'm saying? So, I'm just telling you the things that I'm doing and I'm learning, change my life, man. Because I don't intend to work. I don't intend to trade my time for money. I don't intend to trade my skill for money. I intend for money to work for me. Money should not master me. I should master it. I should not serve money. Money should serve me. And that's my attitude. That's my mindset. Money works for me. Money serve me. I'm not a servant of money. Money is a servant of me. I'm not a servant of wealth. Wealth is a servant of me. Why? Because abundance is my inheritance. You need to understand that. Yahushua said, I come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. And you got to take a look at what that means. Your life is what you do. It doesn't mean that you're breathing. You breathing means that you are alive. That's what it means. It means that you have the breath of life in you. You're a living soul. You're a living soul. But your life is what you do. That's why you get up in the morning, you go to work, you work very, very hard. You work 8 hours. Some of you work 40, 50, 60 hours. And you work more hours to make more money because your value is in your working hours. So if you put in overtime, you get that little bit of overtime dollar. But as soon as you get that overtime dollar, you know that it just goes from hand to mouth, hand to mouth. That overtime dollar just goes from hand to mouth. Eats up. Usually you work overtime when you want to pay a bill or you want to save a little bit of money or you want to buy something. It goes from hand to mouth. And one thing I've learned in my 50 years on this planet is that money has to move like water. I'm giving you guys gem here, man. I'm giving you guys gem. I'm learning these things. It's changing my life. Money has to move like water. If you put money down in a jar, in a cup, like water, like this, it will evaporate over time. You try it. Take a cup of water and go put it outside. Try it. Take a cup of water, go outside and put it outside and leave it there for a while. Leave it there for weeks and see what's going to happen to that water in that cup. It's going to evaporate. It's going to change. Insects going to come in there and drink it. Mosquitoes going to come and lay eggs in it. It's going to be used. It's going to be used up. When you put your money in the bank, it's going to be used up. Something is going to come get that money. And it's going to evaporate out. And you're going to find that you have nothing left. And then that's why you work even harder, try to put more money in the bank. We have this save for a rainy day mentality. We have this, and this was in the industrial age. This was in the age of our grandparents. That's what worked for them. They understood, okay, I need to save, but they also know that I need to save and buy something. So our grandparents worked very hard. They save. They buy a business. They work the business very hard, and they buy a house so we can live. They understood that. But if they were thinking even more, they wouldn't stop at just buying one house. They would buy 2, 3, 4, 5 houses so that the houses could take care of them when they rented out. If they understand income, the word income, I need you to write that down. It's made up of 2 words. Income. And you can turn that backwards. You can turn it backwards. It's still going to work for you. Income, come in. Think about it. Something is coming in, ladies and gentlemen. And as it goes out, it's coming in. So your job is to find out how to make your money work for you. Your job is to find out how to make your money work for you. If you're going to work, you will need to go to work tomorrow. You will need to go to work the next day, and the next day, And you will constantly be working because you have to feed your lifestyle. You have to feed your lifestyle. You have to pay the light bill. You have to pay the mortgage or the rent. You have to pay your phone bill. Your light bill, your mortgage, your rent, your phone bill, your insurance don't give a damn about you. They don't care about you. Your bills don't care about you. Your bills will not come to you at the end of the month and say, man, I'm so sorry that you can't pay me today. You can't take care of me. I know what you're going through. Your bills will never sympathize with you. Your bills only have one thing in mind. They need to get paid. That's it. That's all their bills think about. I need to be paid. They don't like sitting on your counter. They don't like sitting on your in your envelope area or on your desk. They don't like sitting there. They will drive you bananas. They will freaking drive you bananas. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, when I have a bill, and if I can't pay the bill, you know what I do with it? I tear it up and throw it in garbage. Yeah. My wife said, why are you tearing up the bill? You're not reading it? Why? I'm not in a position right now to take care of this bill. I want you sitting there looking at me. And here's what I learned. They're gonna send another bill next month. They're gonna send it like that. Here's what I know from just understanding this God that I worship. He says, so a man thinketh, so is the man. And what you think, ladies and gentlemen, what you focus on, what you think on in your subconscious mind becomes your reality. So if all you're thinking about is bills, 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 guess what you're going to have? Bills, 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 bills. If all you're thinking about is party, 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 guess what you're going to have? Party, 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 party. You know why? Because everything in your life is going to surround what you think about. So if you're a party person, you're going to be thinking about, okay, the next shoes, the next jewelry, the next outfit, the next spot. See? If you're a person who likes jewelry, what are you going to be thinking about? Jewelry. Are you thinking of the next earring, the next, bangles, the next, because these are the things that give you the life satisfaction or the status you're looking for. So you become what you think about. So you got to be careful what gets in your dome, because your subconscious mind, ladies and gentlemen, is a mind that doesn't know good nor evil. It multiplies whatever you put in there. The imagination is the greatest wealth. So the implementation, what you're doing now, you're working 9 to 5, and it's time for you to get out of your 9 to 5. It's time for you to get a plan now to let 9 to 5 work for you, right? So your implementation. The next level is unification. So unification, this is I learned from Marion Gold. I'm studying these guys, man. I'm studying the rich. They're doing it, and they're doing it, and they're giving out this information for free. Now, what does that have to do with the name of Yahweh? Everything. Because he says, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans for a hope and a future for you. Now, if he has plans for me, that means that he's written them down somewhere. It's in his mind. That means I have to implement them. They have to work through me. And what I think most people don't understand is principles. Principles are laws. And when you follow those laws, the laws will work for you. Ladies and gentlemen, we live by laws. We are designed that way. You know I'm going to spread the gospel, sister. You know I'm going to spread the gospel, brother. We are designed to live by laws. And I think if you understand these simplicity, get this religious attitude out of your mind. You're not designed to live by religion. So stop calling yourself Baptist, Catholic, Jehovah's Witness, etc., because that's not who you are. You are a direct descendant from the promise of Yahweh. You are his child if you understand his word, if you understand who he is and what and the role he's playing in your life today. He says, go into the land, possess that. It belongs to him. Nobody owns it. He owns it, even if you're on it. He said, all the wealth of the rich is stored up for you. All the wealth of the rich is stored up for you. So why are you not getting it? Why are they rich and you poor and you are a worshiper of him? Because you don't know his principles. You don't know his you don't know his precepts. You don't know his laws. You don't know his you don't know his commands. So how can you be successful in him when you don't know what he requires? The righteous shall live by faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You have to believe that he exists. And that's why I came on here this morning to encourage you to say, put his name to the test. Because the names that we were given, man, the things that we were given is false. Because of this, the mentality of the people, the nations around us. They don't serve our God. They serve their own God. You think America is a land of the free, home of the brave? It's not. Maybe home of the brave, but not the land of the free. You're not free here. Whether you're white, black, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Jamaican, whatever you are, you flee to this country. You flee to this country for freedom, but you're not free. Because you live by democracy. And when you live by democracy, you can't be free. Because you live by the majority. Whatever the majority says, that's what goes. You're living by the majority, by the voice of the people. The government's supposed to be the voice of the people. And when you're living by the voice of the people, how can you be free? You got to live by the voice of Yahweh. That's where true freedom is, because he's going to make you free here. And once he can make you free in here, you're free anywhere, even if you're locked up in a jail cell. You know why so much inmates go to, when they locked up, they find religion and are set free? Because they're locked in a cage. So their mind is not left to wonder. Their mind is left to focus, but someone gave them religion. And because someone gave them religion, and it's now an attention seeker and a focus point, they are free within the gates of that religion. But my goal and Yahweh's goal for you and my goal for you is to free you from the gates of religion. My goal is to bring you back to him. Return to him, and he will return to you. So you don't have to bat 1,000. You just need to bat 3. They'll pay you $4 million. Use that as a tool in your life. From 2008 till now, in 2007, the iPhone was invented. And Amazon Music and books and ebooks. This is called we're living in the partnership age, ladies and gentlemen. And according to Myron Golden, the quickest way to make wealth today is to understand partnership. To understand partnership. Anyone who is partnering up with someone to further their goals and to further their dreams and aspiration, those are the people who are going to be wealthy. When Amazon partnered up with the App Store, they come up with the App Store and all these ebooks and all these things by partnering. Right now, there's so much on the internet now. If you go on YouTube and you see people telling you, this is how affiliation. People are making so much money. It's crazy. You see so much of them on YouTube now. You're wondering if they're truth. You just want to turn it off because it just seems just unreal. People are showing you hundreds and thousands of dollars sent to them. They're showing you their account. Man, this was deposited in my account. That was deposited in my account. And it doesn't seem real to you. Because I'm telling you, it didn't seem real to me either. Because I'm old-fashioned. I'm 50 years old. I'm old-fashioned too. Right? So I have to get out of my old-fashioned old ways and start to think in the new way. If you're not thinking in a new way, you're going to get left behind. If you think you're going to make a wealth by going to work, good luck to you, because you're going to need it. And I don't believe in luck. I'm a man of faith. I don't believe in chance. I'm a man of faith. You understand me? But you will see that you'll be there 30, 40 years. You'll move from one job to the next. You may make a little bit more money. You may make a little bit more money. But you know, one thing I learned about money, when you make money, you want to spend money as well. When you make money, you want to buy things. You want to buy things you've never had. You know what I mean? You want to buy the things you've dreamt of having. And you have to ask yourself the question, those things that you're buying that you dreamt of having, are they an asset for you, or are they a liability for you? Now, a liability is something that's taking your water. It's taking your water, but it's not replenishing your water. So if anything taking your water, it's a liability. You need assets. You know, when you go to the bank to borrow money, right? You're borrowing money from them. That's what they want to know. What are your assets? So when you can borrow against your asset, they'll lend you money, even if you have bad credit. Because they know that if you default on the loan, they just come take your asset. And usually your asset worth more than what you're borrowing anyway. So you got to build assets. Build assets. And I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, as I get ready to close here, I'm telling you, your greatest asset, ladies and gentlemen, is Yahweh. That's your greatest reward. Because all of these things that you acquire, all the money in the bank, all the money in your businesses, everything that you could acquire, you're going to die and you're going to leave it behind. So when you understand something that you don't own nothing, you don't own a darn thing. Yeah, it might be in your name, but you don't own nothing. It's you're given the opportunity to manage these things. And when you learn and understand this, man, that, you know, that Yahweh put certain things in your life to manage, your life's going to change. Now, let me share one last thing before I go. Let me share a couple more things before I go. You're working a job now. I don't want you to think that your job is a curse. Your job is not a curse. You may not like your job. You may not like the money you're making. You may not like your boss. You may not even like some of the people that you're working with. But I'm going to share something with you that Yahweh shared with me, that showed me when I was working a job. I was complaining about my job and I was making good money. I work a 9 to 5. Literally, I work 6 to 3:30. I was making good money. Got good insurance, got great plans. I was complaining about, you know, the money I'm supposed to be making. Guys coming in, they're making almost the same money as me. They don't got the experience like me. I was complaining about a whole lot of stuff. And I was complaining about my job. And one day, the Most High spoke to my mind. And I heard him very clearly. He said, why do you think you have a job? Because Yahweh doesn't give anyone jobs. If you look at the Bible, there's no place in the Bible here that I ever see where Yahweh gives people jobs. He always gives them management. You always give him something to manage because everything belongs to him. So he gave you the opportunity to go in and possess it, and manage it. You're supposed to manage it. If you go back to Genesis chapter 1, this is according to Miles Monroe, Dr. Miles Monroe, Yahweh bless his soul. He said the first thing God gave to man was work. Work. He was to work and replenish the ground. He was to subdue it. He was to subdue it. He was to replenish it. He was to manage it. That's what he was to do. And if you look at the formula, he was to work, manage. He was to multiply, be fruitful and multiply, replenish and subdue. If you work those three things in your life, make those three things a part of your life, it's going to change your life. Find something that he has put in you, which is your gift. Replenish, manage it well, feed it, do what you need to do to grow it, serve it to the world, serve your gift to the world, multiply, do it again, double up. That's how rich people get rich. They just double up. You get $10, double up on that $10. When it becomes 20, double up on the 20. When it comes 40, double up on the 40. Just keep doubling up. Just keep doubling up. So if you have a talent, you make something, put it out there. Yeah, it might not take off. But like I said, most people want to get out into the limelight and let everybody see them. You know, there's a lot of musicians out there that nobody knows about that's making millions and millions of dollars selling their album. And they're not mainstream, they're not on TV, but they're making millions and millions of dollars. Okay, they're just doubling up, they're just selling their album. Because you don't need somebody's permission for the talent Yahweh gave you. So in closing, here's some things I want you to just go away with. But the number one thing I want you to take from my message today, your greatest asset is Yahweh. I know you don't know the name yet. I know you don't understand what I'm talking about. Some of you don't. But I'm telling you, put it to the test. Go pray in that name. Talk to God, the true God, in the name of Yahweh, and see what happens. See what happens. 2, you were designed to live by laws. Look at the law of Yahweh and see which one of them you are breaking or violating, and go fix that. Turn away from those things and turn to his word and watch what's going to happen. 3, ask Yahweh for help, for forgiveness, and for help. Ask for help. Ask him for help. Don't be afraid to go before him and say, Yahweh, I need your help. Put your hands up if you have to, like a baby, and just say, help me. Help me. And I'm asking him for help too. I need help. I need income coming in. I need more income coming in. And I'm asking him for help. Show me what to do and how to do it. And I'm implementing the things I'm talking to you about. So I'm growing with you. You know, I have 2 businesses now out there. And I have a couple of assets. But I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied. Why? Because now I'm not living for myself. I'm not trying to find things, do things for me now. I have children and grandchildren, and I want to show them by my examples that you can do this at any age. That time didn't pass you by. Oh, man, I'm 40. Oh, I'm 50. I should have been here by now. I should have had this. I should have had that. I say in the last 2 years, man, ladies and gentlemen, in the last 2 years, that means I was 48 years old before financial things start happening to me, because I come to realize with the things that I'm telling you right now, the things I'm telling you start happening to me in 2 years. So I was 40, 48 thinking my life is over. And within 2 years, I have 2 businesses, a house, a bike, 2 bikes. I just picked up a Charger. I just picked up a Dodge Charger. You understand what I'm saying? These things are happening to me in the last 2 years. So you can start at any time in your life. Any time in your life. You're never too old. Colonel Sanders. I don't know if you know, guys know who Colonel Sanders is. But if you don't know who Colonel Sanders is the one who invented KFC, so-called. We kind of knew the story now that he stole the recipe, but hey, whether he stole the recipe or not, that's not the case. The case is the fact that he took that recipe and he implemented that bad boy. And he had a hard time. He looked at his life. He was 60 years old, ladies and gentlemen, when he was retiring from his company, washing dishes. He had a couple of failed marriages, failed relationship, and he was retiring, and his retirement was paying him $150. And he felt like, what the hell? I can't live off 150 bucks. I'm 60 years old. What am I going to do with my life? He felt like his life was over. It was done. And at 60 years old, retired, worked all his time. How many years did he work to retire? After that, he's only going to get 150 bucks a month and whatever Social Security that was added to that. He thought about killing himself. He was about to commit suicide. I know some of you are at that place now, where you just feel like nothing is working for you. You're depressed. You're living hand to mouth. You're going from paycheck to paycheck. I know. I've lived that for 48 years of my life. I know. I understand you. I know what you're going through. I was depressed too. I felt like life was passing me by. And I've done this with 7 children. I had 7 kids with 4 women. Child support out the yin yang, IRS money. Oh, listen to me. I'm telling you, I've been there. I've lived it. Moved 10 times. Evicted a couple of times. Right? But I never go without food. I've never gone without shelter. He never allowed me to face that. Some of you might have no shelter. Some of you might have no food, and you think life is over for you. And I'm trying to tell you this right now, and this is going to sound crazy, but you are at the right place at the right time. You're exactly where you need to be. Because if you weren't there, you couldn't hear this message. You wouldn't stay long enough to hear this message. You are at the right place. That's where he's getting your attention. And when you put your trust in him, man, he's going to take you from the gutters, from the basement to a 4,000 square foot house. Trust me on that. I'm not speaking to you of something I heard. I'm speaking to you of my own experience with this Yahweh. Trust me on that. Trust me on that, ladies and gentlemen. So you just have to do some things. You just got to call upon his name. And he's going to restore you. He wants to bless you more than you know, man. He wants to bless you. When I say bless you, man, he wants to bless you because in you, the nation is going to know that he is God. Because they don't know him. They're going to know him through you. So you're going to be the ambassador, the representation of him on earth. Because people, all the nations go call you blessed. They're like, wow, look at this dude. Because you have a peace. You're going to have wealth with peace. Because you realize that that wealth is his, to do his will in your life, through your family, and wherever he needed. See, there's rich people out there, they got money out of the yin yang, but they're not at peace. Yeah, they can buy everything, they can go anywhere, but they're not at peace. They spend their whole life trying to figure out where they're going to put the money so they don't have to pay taxes. So they become greedy, selfish, and they seek more wealth, and more wealth. And they are so afraid, ladies and gentlemen, to lose the money. So their whole heart and their whole hope and every bit of their existence is in that money. So they're not living. They have things, but they're not living. That's why most poor people are. Most poor people are so happy and so thankful and so grateful. But they take for granted the things you take. They take for granted the things you are happy and grateful for. Because they can buy a car. If a car breaks down, they buy a brand new one. They can buy, but they don't have that peace. They don't have the peace that passes all understanding. And that's why you are in a situation where you're in right now, so that you can get that peace, so that when he blesses you, it would be just but a thing. Like, because he took me through the basement, and he took me through the trailer park, and he took me to the apartment. I can go back anywhere. I can go back to any of those things. Because if he took me through that once, he can do it again. Anything Yahweh did one time, he can do it a second time. As a matter of fact, if you notice in creation, when he said something, it goes forever and ever. When he said, let there be light, light shine forever. When he said, separate the darkness, darkness and night comes back and forth, back and forth. All the seasons come around and around forever. All the grass, no matter how much you burn them, no matter how much you dig them up, they still grow out of the ground because they're still obeying the commandments of God. The fruit tree and the seasons will always be because they are. The sea will always be the sea. The sky, the heavens will always be the heavens. All the living creatures that are here will always be here because he what? He commanded it. Human beings who he created in his own image, we will always be here because he commanded that. And only he has the power to stop anything and let anything extinct and destroy anything. Only him have the power to completely destroy everything. All right. So what are you going to do now? What are you going to do today? How are you going to live the remainder of your life going forward? Because if the message is not changing your life, then you are entertained. And like I told you, I didn't come here to entertain you. There have to be a repentance in your heart. There have to be a change, a renewal of the mind. Be transformed by the renewal of the mind. There have to be a change in here. You have to make a decision to make your water flow like a river. You want your money to be flowing. Don't just put it in the cup, man. Drink the water. This water that I just drank will evaporate through my skin, through sweat. This water that I just drink will turn into my stomach and be microclusters and go into my vein and give me energy. This water that I just drink will remove from my body toxin and waste and salt and sodium and all these things. This water that I just drink will come out of my body through urination. This water that I just drink will be either urinated on the ground outside or it will be on the toilet, wherever you urinate. That water will go down to the earth. That water will go through the sewers, go down, end up in the sea, end up in the river, get replenished, come up through vapors, come back on the land, come down again through rain and snow, and do the whole process over again. Make your money do that for you. Find a way to make your money do that for you. And partner up with someone who know it better than you. And watch what's going to happen. And I'm saying to you, let Yahweh be that partner. All right. I love you guys. Until next time, may Yahweh bless you. My name is Maker Albania. Tomorrow night, Thursday, July 14th, I believe it is. Make sure tomorrow night, July 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My special guests will be here joining me, the Ravenous Bird. Please, it's going to be awesome. You don't want to miss this. I will have the Ravenous Bird on. It's going to be great. Looking forward to that. All right. So spread the word. Yahweh bless you. Until next time, I'm Maker Albania Osharal. Have a good night. Good day. Good evening.